Welcome back to the Sleep Play YouTube channel. My name is Ozzy, I'm the respiratory therapist with sleepplay.com. Today we're gonna bring you a new CPAP, which is the iBreeze by Resvent. As you can see, it has a sleek design. It's very small. It's actually 9 inches by 7 inches by 5 inches. So it's not a big machine. It's not a big bulky machine. It's not gonna take up your whole nightstand. And it's gonna look like a radio on your nightstand. It's not gonna look like a CPAP machine. So for those of you that are a bit embarrassed about using a CPAP machine, especially when you have that new bed partner, they won't even know it's a CPAP machine. They'll notice when you have that mask on and they get scared and run away, but that's another story. That's a story for a different day. The machine, it's, if you see, lightweight. It weighs just about 3 pounds. The screen on the front, it's 3.5 inches. It has all the data capability on the front of the machine, so you can see everything. It has also an SD card where you can pull out your data, so you can send your data to the doctor. There's also an application, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. The machine on one side is gonna have where you're gonna put the filter. Now, one thing I do like about the Resvent is that they added a little magnet to this. So it's not a clip in, clip out. Because sometimes when patients with other machines, they go to pull out that little tab, they push too hard and they end up breaking the little door for the filter. In this case, I don't see that happening because it stays on pretty good. The filter's right here. It's a small filter. It has a little angle to it. When you're gonna put it on, you just push it back in just like every other CPAP and push it closed. Now that filter, you do want to check it on a weekly basis, and once it starts changing color in about a month, you want to change it. So you want to change that filter depending on the environment that you're in, maybe every 2 weeks to once a month. On the back of the machine, you have, of course, where you're going to connect your power. Now, if you see, this machine doesn't have the option for the heated tubing. You're going to use a standard tubing, or you can use an aftermarket heated tubing like the Hybridite tubing. When you get your machine, it might not have the plug on it. So this is very simple. When you go to put it on, it has a little arrow indicator. So you can see here, you want to match it up. You want to go from the unlocked position and just twist it to the lock position. On the other side, you have where the integrated humidifier is. Now the integrated humidifier, when you go to pull it out, you just press and pull out, kind of like other machines on the market. I would say it's about the similar force that you have to do to pull out the tank, which I think that a lot of these manufacturers need to find a better way, because some patients don't have strength in their hands and they can't really press hard. So they gotta work on that. So ResMed, Respironics, Resvent, all of you guys, pay attention to that. To open the humidifier, it has a little latch here. This is the lid. If you can see, you want to, of course, use distilled water like always. You want to clean it at least on a weekly basis. Warm soapy water, or you could even use water and white vinegar once a week. On the top of the machine, you're gonna have the power button, which seems like they got the color at least a bit right. Blue is off, green is on. And then you have the ramp feature. As you can see, it comes with this handy little travel bag, looks like a little duffel bag. All of your sleep equipment is gonna fit here perfect. And so you could take it with you when you travel. So when you're gonna go on your, let's say, an airplane ride, there's a small carry-on. Now, to look at the data on the screen and to see all the functionality of the machine, you're gonna be using the front dial. The front dial, you can turn it and you can press it in to click on what you wanna select. The first box on top is the info. When you click on info, it's gonna give you certain parameters like how many hours you used it, your AHI, mass fit. Something that you do want to be paying attention to is your AHI. You want to make sure that your AHI is as low as possible. Of course, at least under 5.0. When patients are using CPAP machines, I like for it to be even under 4.0 because you're actually having treatment for your sleep apnea. But that's something to you want to pay close attention to. The next one over is the humidity, but if you notice, it keeps skipping it. The reason why it skips the humidity tab is because I don't have any water in the water chamber. When you have water in the water chamber, it'll let you select the humidity and allow you to change the humidity level. So you gotta make sure you have water in the machine if you wanna change the humidity level. The next one is the mask fit, which is a great feature. All the machines have it. It's something that you wanna use to make sure that that's the right mask for you, the right fit for you. The next tab, which is the fourth tab, is the comfort. When you select there, you have IPR, which stands for Intelligent Pressure Relief. Now, this is similar to EPR and C-Flex in other brands. What IPR does is it helps you exhale when you're taking in the breath and you go to exhale, the machine relieves a little bit of pressure, so it's easier for you to exhale, making the therapy a little bit more comfortable for you. The next one over is the auto start. That's when you put the mask on and you breathe through the mask, the machine will turn on. Then the auto stop, which is when you take it off and it senses that the mask is off for a while, it'll shut off. Now the ramp pressure on this machine does have one feature that other machines don't. The ramp, you can actually start the pressure at 3.0, which is something that helps a lot of patients. Even at 4.0, they feel that the pressure is too strong and they can't tolerate it. So with the Resvent iBreeze, you actually have the option to go down to 3.0, making it just a little bit more comfortable for those patients that are having a hard time getting used to CPAP. The next one over is the ramp time. Now the ramp time here, you can go up to 60 minutes and you can go as low as off, of course. Typically, I don't recommend such a long ramp. Usually 20 minutes, 15, 20, 30 minutes is pretty much all you need. When you go those extended ramps, that your AHI can stay a little bit higher because you're not getting the adequate therapy as fast as you need it. The next one over is the tubing type that you can select through the different tubings. And then the last one is actually what type of mask you're using. So you can change it between the nasal pillows and full face mask. Now let's get out of that menu and go to the next one, which is the settings. The settings, the first one, it's the unit of measure, which you want to leave it on the centimeters of water. The next one up is the language. You can change the language to your preferred language. The next one is the Wi-Fi. Now on the Wi-Fi, you want to have it on. You click inside and you're going to see it says search. When you click the search, it's going to show you all the Wi-Fi's near you, so you can find your specific Wi-Fi and you can log into your Wi-Fi. Once you log into your Wi-Fi, you'll be able to transfer the data from the machine onto the cloud. What I usually tend, especially for you first timers getting your CPAP machine, the best thing you can do is read up and learn everything you can about your treatment. But if you just want the quick basics so that you can get ahead with your therapy as fast as possible, the main parameter that I would want you to pay attention to is your AHI. As long as your AHI is under that 5.0, 4.0, you're good. Keep using your therapy, keep on trying to get used to the machine. Now, if that AHI is going very high and you can't seem to get it down, sometimes the problem is actually just the leak of the mask. Make sure that you have the mask, try with the mask fit, make sure you have the mask on properly, that it's fitting nice and snug. And if that's not the issue, then you're gonna wanna speak to your sleep specialist, because your sleep specialist will help indicate if it's an issue with the therapy, changing the pressures, or changing the type of therapy to be able to accommodate you. The next one after the Wi-Fi is gonna be the oximeter connection. That's a separate feature. Then the one after that is the brightness of the screen. The next one over is energy saving. Now, the energy saving, you do want to keep it on. Reason being, if you turn it off, the screen will not turn off. The screen will stay on all night, especially for those of you that are sensitive to light. It might bother you in the middle of the night. If you turn it on, after a few seconds, the screen shuts off and there's no light in the room bothering you. And then when you keep going down, you're gonna get the date, so you can change the date. And one cool feature about this machine that I personally like is that it has the option to set an alarm clock. So since you're already putting something on your nightstand that's probably going where your alarm clock normally goes, you can set in an alarm clock on the machine and put whatever time you want to wake up. I think it's a very good feature. After the alarm clock, we have the reminders tab. On the reminders tab, you can turn on the reminders and the machine will automatically remind you when you need to change certain supplies. Like that, you never go past the the expiration date basically. The next one after the reminders tab is going to be the key tone that you can turn it on, and then when you start moving from one, scrolling, it just has a little beep to it. I personally think it's annoying, so I leave it off. Then the software update, you can click to see if there's any updates available, and it'll update the machine for you. And then the last one is the about. The about is just going to give you the model number, the serial number of the machine, the hours of the machine, blower hours, and therapy hours. That's something that you might want to see just in case if you're purchasing a new machine. Your machine should not have 20-30 hours. Testing on the machines, everything, it should be 1 to 2 hours at max.